Set is in good humor today. Autumn does not answer. Autumn be praised. He is in agreement. Offering. But what to offer? This looks like it belongs here. father of... Charlie would not have done this, but someone or something dug up this grave. There must not be anything here. That is something. Nothing can stand in his way. He sees our path. The Son of God approves. Set regards no obstacles. Set revels in his blessing. Autumn reveals. What is this? Set regards no obstacles. The Father of Serpents is smiling. Autumn, show me the way. Set revels in his blessing. Set is in good humor today. Sarah?
Of all the things you weren't expecting, finding me here had to be near the top of the list.
Have you been following me?
On the contrary, kiddo, I think it's you that's been following in my footsteps. Speaking of which, have you been enjoying the trials? I'm not sure how you found your way down that path, but you've obviously impressed the gods, just like your mother and I did.
You are being much calmer than I expected about all this.
You aren't the first member of your family to sneak away and attempt the trials. I remember raising more than a few eyebrows on my run.
This from the favored daughter of Oshter?
I always respected Oshter, especially compared to some of her siblings.
And my mother?
I think she saw something of herself in Autumn, but she was never one to flatter the gods.
She seems to have no issue kneeling to Chthon.
Is that really what you believe, Hunter?
I cannot say.
At least you've kept an open mind. I'm not sure I would have.
I have tried to remain neutral until I know more.
If you've come this far, then there's really no point in hiding it anymore.
This place, sealed and hidden away beneath my mother's garden. This was you again. Something else you wanted to lock away.
Would you believe it's because I've been a stubborn old woman for far too many centuries?
Yes.
This may be difficult to understand given what you've been told, how you were raised. But your mother isn't the bastion of evil the world knows her to be.
Yes, I know she was not the mother of demons when she was with my father.
There's more to it than that. I told you of her work to find a cure for his illness. There was nothing she could do, and when he passed, she accepted his fate. But then, the corruption came for you.
I was sick? I do not remember that at all.
I'm not surprised, given the cure. You were so young, so vulnerable. Lilith was inconsolable. If she had been desperate to heal your father, she was now completely unhinged when it came to curing you.
But she did find a way.
We had thought to bury it in this place forever, safe from not just the greedy eyes of petty men like Shaw, but from ourselves.
The Darkhold.
Yes, and sensing your mother's desperation, the damn thing called out to her. There within its pages, Lilith found a way to protect her child, straight from the Great Shadow himself, Chthon. And as payment, she pledged her eternal devotion to him, reborn as the Mother of Demons.
She gave herself to Chthon. For me.
You were her only child, and she loved you more than anything else in this world. In her mind, it was no sacrifice at all. You were all that mattered.
And you still let me believe she was a monster.
For your protection, I only let you see her as she is now.
But what she became...
What she became, I barely recognized. She may have been your mother, but there was no way she could be your mother ever again.
And so you cast her out?
She was weakened from the transition. Some part of her soul still struggling with the corruption infecting her, I suppose. I knew I would only have the moment, and so I struck, drove her from the Abbey. From you. It was the only way I could protect you. In my mind and in my heart, I believed that the Lilith I knew would have done the same.
But then she came back.
Yes, it took her years, but she finally returned. Of course, by then, she had become something far different. The rest, as you know, is history. Until now. I thought by sealing this place, by avoiding the truth, that it would somehow make all of this easier. But I also knew someday we would have this conversation.
You were trying to protect me. As you always do.
You've made this easier on me than it should be, kiddo. But I can't say I'm not glad that you still believe in me.
We can only move forward from here. We've spent enough time wading through the past.
You'll get no argument from me there. I must say, Deadpool's heroics surprised me. First for everything.
Nothing can stand in his way.
I hadn't intended on eavesdropping, dear, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with Sarah.
Did you know about my mother?
Sarah was never any more forthcoming about Lilith with me than she has been with you. She must have felt it was safer to keep both of us in the dark.
At the cost of a great deal of pain and suffering.
You don't have to tell me, dear. Had I known what Sarah was hiding, maybe I wouldn't have pushed Wanda as hard as I did.
And to say nothing of what this did to you?
It may sound ridiculous, but if someone had to end up this way, I'm glad it was me. Can you imagine what a nightmare Sarah would be as a poltergeist?
That is true. We may have had another terror stalking the grounds had things gone differently.
And despite everything, I have to say, I'm glad we were able to spend this bit of extra time together, Hunter.
I enjoyed it too, Agatha.
I'm glad, dear. But there are still more secrets to discover, if you're interested.
More still? How will I know where to find them?
Oh, I'd say some combination of dumb luck and persistence? But in all seriousness, with Set's blessing, you'll be able to break down all sorts of things, I imagine. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Just have fun, dear.
Autumn thinks otherwise. She does not see it happening.